The normies are at the gates. Pewdiepie attacked by the mainstream media. Sargon of Akkad kicked off of Patreon along with other creators. And Mumkey Jones kicked right off of YouTube for good. It's been a big week in social media news. That and a whole lot more right here. Shop of the Boy News. Poppin', everybody. I'm telling you, this is Shop of the Point News. As you all know by now, Sargon of Akkad, political commentator, critic of Islam and feminism, as well as identitarian politics, has been kicked off of Patreon. Now, the reason Sargon was kicked off the Patreon platform is he did a oopsie. He dropped the N-bomb on a stream about 8 months ago when referring to alt-right criticizers and trolls that were in his chat. But he didn't do it on anything that was sponsored or funded by Patreon money. He did it on a stream that wasn't his own. Unsurprisingly, Sargon has been fighting to get his Patreon back, or at least find a reason why it was exactly taken away. And in this communication with the administrator by the name of Sydney, they accidentally or deliberately, I'm not quite sure, admit to the fact that they're not following their own rules. They're pretty much making them up as they go along. Here's a clip.
In my email to Sydney 3 days previously, I'd pointed out that I have not broken the terms of service. My behaviour did not occur on Patreon's website, as stipulated in their terms of service, nor was it on my YouTube channel, nor was it funded by my patrons. Instead of addressing this in any way, Sydney replied with this: "Hi Carl, thanks for getting back to me. I appreciate your concerns over how we go about account removals. While we don't comment on the removals of other creators, please know that your account isn't the first my team have removed for a content violation that did not occur on our site." Well, I have no doubts about that, but I am glad that they appreciate my concerns. I find that kind of corporate speak very reassuring and totally believable, and it really puts my mind at rest. Don't worry, person who has just been purged, we purge people all the time. It's nice to see Sydney admit that Patreon have indeed been engaging in an active purge. So instead of acknowledging or engaging with my sensible objection, Sydney goes on to say, "Because we process payments, we take creators' entire brand into account during our review. Your brand is funded through Patreon, and your YouTube channel and the types of discussions you host on it contribute to this brand. This is also what makes your appearance on the other site relevant to the project you fund on Patreon. This, Jack Conte, is not in your terms of use or community guidelines. There is one reference in them to the word brand, and that is in the community guidelines to prevent fraud by impersonating another content creator. Otherwise, there is absolutely nothing in the community guidelines that references this at all."
YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter deliberately and willfully have very vague rules to do pretty much what you saw here, what Patreon did. Kind of shift them around as they see fit, because the rules are so vague that you pretty much can interpret them any way you want. Patreon, on the other hand, doesn't have that. They have very clear-cut rules on what constitutes a ban. I wonder if there's a lawsuit here. As we told you before, Patreon just didn't purge Sargon of Akkad. They also purged Miley Yiannopoulos, the former journalist and extremely relevant social media star back in 2015 and 16. They also purged Jason Alsop, who I'm told is a radical right-winger, alt-right Nazi type. But I don't know whether to believe it, because they say that about Miley Yiannopoulos and Sargon of Akkad, which leads me to believe that some of these guys are wacko Nazis and some of them just disagree with social media executives. In later news, Ninja claims that he's the same person.
I'm the same person.
Gotcha, Ligma. But why are so many of your fans upset and saying you're not the same person?
I just don't swear.
Don't straw man me, Mr. Blubbins. I don't see that many people complaining about you not swearing anymore. What I see them complaining about is you reporting people and acting like a lamer version of Jake Paul since you got so big.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
Hey, take it easy. What the hell's the matter with you? Hey, knock it off. Dude, the feminists are gonna be pissed. You might have to play games with them. Alright, it's your ass, man. Pewdiepie. I know you don't like the way I say it. Don't care. PewDiePie, back in the news with another mainstream media attack and accusations of Nazism and racism. That's right, we're just finding races everywhere. Nazis, there's one. They're all over the place. Also came from other fellow YouTubers, normie YouTubers, at the Young Turks by the name of Hassan. Hassan had a bit to say. He could see a Nazi. Well, he sees them all over the place.
Like, I don't think he's doing the fucking white supremacist emoji or whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. Everyone fucking, everyone chill. Like, you don't need anything further than what you look at, like what is right in front of you. You know what I mean? You don't need to assign like you don't need to assign additional fucking ideas onto this.
So that's it. Hassan says so. So Poods definitely had some white supremacist ideology, some sympathies, or maybe he's a full-blown Nazi. After all, it's right there. What Hassan is referring to is a video that PewDiePie commented on by a creator known as E.R. E.R. for short. And it does appear that E.R. has some pretty wild leanings when it comes to politics, as shown on a recent Shot from the Point podcast. But in fairness to Poods, I did watch this anime movie review, unfortunately. And this reporter is included. Had I not been told ahead of time, you could come away and watch this film and just think the guy is a bit of an asshole trying to trigger some oversensitive virtue signaling libs. Because it's not hard. But don't take my word for it. Don't watch the video and realize it's actually a movie review and not Mein Kampf. Take Hassan's, because he is open and shut the case. He's found a Pewdie comment in the description box below.
Wait, oh, what is that? Oh, that's a note from PewDiePie. Now I'm excited to watch, now I'm excited for Death Note 2, just for another video like this one. I wonder what that is, dude. Hey, PewDiePie probably has no idea what this guy is about, dude. You know what? 3 months ago, he wasn't watching his fucking videos, and he probably had no fucking clue, dude. He was just, like, in it for the memes, dog. He was just in it for the memes, dude.
Yeah, case closed, genius. But it really didn't stop there. Of course, there's an article by The Verge, and there's this really comical thing that Poods tweeted out yesterday. Imagine being blamed for extremist radicalization because some guy runs past you in a video game. This is a journalist of that article. The journalist goes on to claim that Poods is playing Pavlov's dog with his fan base because he ran by a player who had an anti-Semitic gamer tag by the name of Rabbi Shekel, and the old Jewish meme that you see on Twitter so much. These people, they really don't know our world. And there was this tough Latina from the Bronx, old Jenny from the block. She's talking about ending PewDiePie, ending him. He's gonna end this guy. And maybe not. And I'm sure in the coming days you will see an article on what it was like to go through PewDiePie internet harassment. Hey, it didn't work for Alinity. It's not gonna work for you.
Aaron is like, what? Can you just stop asking? Like, you guys keep asking me why the fuck I don't reply the chat, but every time I reply the chat, it's like all kind of weird ass question like, do you shave your pussy? Do you like this? Do you that? Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up with your horny ass fuck questions. Nobody give a fuck about answering all these questions, yo. I'm not your personal porn star.
It is official. Longtime friend of the Shot from the Point project, satirist, comedian, and YouTuber Mumkey Jones has now been completely banned from the platform. His 2 remaining channels were banned, as his 2 main channels were banned earlier in the week after receiving 6 strikes on both of them in a relatively short period of time. This is Mumkey on the Shot from the Point podcast talking about that.
I don't know. I woke up and I had an email that I had, a strike on both of my channels. So I messaged my contact because when you get 100,000 subs, they give you like a Google contact who gives you advice and stuff. I emailed him frantically like, hey man, I think I'm being false flagged. Can you help me out? No response from him. So I get a second strike on both channels. I'm like, well, I'm fucked. So I private all of my videos. There's nothing left. And then somehow privated videos that had never been viewed before got the final strikes, and my channels were both gone.
You got picked. Some of the strikes associated with Mumkey Jones said that he committed acts of hate speech and encouraged violence. Here was his comment on that, directed at YouTube.
How I feel about it is that YouTube is clearly accusing me of a crime. Inciting violence and hate speech, those are crimes. If YouTube seriously believes that I was endorsing Elliot Rodger and promoting his violence and encouraging people to follow in his footsteps, then report me to the FBI. Stand by your convictions, YouTube. Prove it.
Yeah.
Report me to the police. I'm serious. If you really think that's what I was doing, if you're accusing me of a crime, then report me. Don't just delete me like a bunch of pussies. Do something about it. Clearly you think I'm going to do something dangerous, so report me. I dare you.
There's something called the Keemstar loophole on YouTube, where what happens is if you're deleted off the platform, you put another channel in someone else's name. Keemstar did this because he had several incarnations of Drama Alert until the one he currently has. Mumkey did try this himself, and he put the channel in his girlfriend's name, but it did appear shortly after this Shot from the Point episode that Mumkey Jones' extra channels were completely eliminated from YouTube, therefore banning him permanently. I'm going to put his Patreon in the description box below. I deeply encourage you to support Mumkey in his future endeavors, no matter where he goes. Mumkey was very kind to be on Shot from the Point at the time that he was. He actually helped me sort of survive the sub purging, and I finished up with a plus for the day. I can't stress enough, especially during this holiday season, that you support Mumkey the very best that you can. And there's no Tommy C act here. He is a great content provider. He is a great content creator, and he deserved much better than this, than just to be completely wiped out over somebody's offense. That was some week in news. The purge continues. I have a feeling we're going to be talking about a lot of purges of the undesirable in the future, as we've seen that Sargon of Akkad was taken off of Patreon. Poods, seems to be a mainstream media effort to take him out, and they were quite successful with Mumkey Jones forever wiping him off the YouTube platform. If you want to keep on top of this and so much more, make sure you check out the Shot from the Point News Twitter account, which is right here. And if you would like to catch all of the Shot from the Point Mumkey Jones interview, and we took a lot of phone calls with fans, and it was a pretty good time. I can't thank Mumkey enough. Check the cards at the end of this particular video, and make sure you hit them and check out the entire podcast. I'm Tommy C, and I'm not your porn star.
I'm not your personal porn star.
Wow.